What's up, everyone? Welcome to Backlog and Beyond, the podcast where we talk about the old video games we want to be and the new ones we play instead. I'm your host, Jeff Zavatero.
And I'm your other host, Bob. We Atta Baby Eats a Boy. And this is episode 42.
You say that like someone who either remembers the commercial or looked it up. Okay.
No, I remember the commercial. Are you kidding, man?
Who was that? It was Bob. He had a baby. It's a girl.
No, it's a boy. Oh,
sorry, it's a boy. Yeah.
And the mom's all,
That's not the one thing.
They're just like, whatever. It was like back when in the day when like the 800 collect numbers were a big thing, and people had to like speak like really quickly, otherwise they spent too much money on a collect call. So that was what that was all about.
I remember those old like 1-800 collect, 10-10-220.
Yep. Oh my God.
Those like dominated.
John Lithgow was in one of them. I forget. I forget.
When he was like 20 years old.
Yeah, exactly. Jesus, I'm old.
Hulk Hogan was in one. It was so weird. Anyway, we are back with episode 42. Got my towel ready, but we also got our guest, Andrew Mondello, also known as Pundello.
How much hair is the way?
Yeah, this is the episode we initially planned to bring him in for, but then some other things happened, and we had to talk about real news. But today we're going to be talking about our predictions for the next generation of gaming, Gen 10. But before we do that, we're going to start with what we've been playing this week. So, Andrew, what have you been playing this week?
The two games that were suggested, that was Hades and the other one, I don't know if I can say it yet, but those. So Hades is awesome. Talk about that later. Still playing through Dark Souls, still getting my butt kicked, and the usual Animal Crossing. And I'm getting back into Zelda starting tomorrow, which I'm stoked about. But
are you gonna play? Do you mean Breath of the Wild?
Yeah, I'm gonna start my first Master Mode run.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
It's gonna be a good time. What'd you say?
You gonna stream it?
Abso-freaking-lutely.
Now that you're an affiliate, yeah.
Congrats, man.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That's exciting. Nathan, what have you been playing?
I've been playing a couple things. Among Trees, which is so relaxing. It's such an amazing, like, just chill survival game. Basically, it's you're in the woods and you restore this old cabin, and you can like add on to it. So you can add on like a kitchen, a crafting room, a storage attic. That's what I've actually added onto my cabin so far. But as you like kind of scavenge this empty kind of world, there's like crates scattered around, and they have like bolts and random scraps of stuff in there, and then you use those things to craft, obviously. But yeah, it's such a beautiful open world survival game, just super relaxing. I almost died a couple times. It was either due to lack of food or I got home too late, and you kind of have to get home. You have to be aware of the time, because at nighttime it gets super cold. And you can die of freezing to death, basically. But I guess eventually what you can do is you can add like a sewing room and a little greenhouse and a brewing room, so you can brew like beer and stuff. And but I guess the sewing room is for like obviously like building like warmer clothes, so you probably can go out longer and stuff and hunt and all that stuff. But yeah, it's just so relaxing. It's gorgeous. I love it. And it's only on Epic right now, so if you want to check it out, it's on Epic. Unfortunately, it's nowhere else. So, but yeah. And I've also been playing The Pedestrian. I think I only have like 3 sections of the world to finish off. So there's like the way they break it off is in like areas of the city. So I think I'm at like the third to last area of the city. And the puzzles get really challenging. They actually add more elements to where you can actually manipulate the actual background. So there's like pipes that you eventually can like maneuver and move around the signs. And then at one point, like you add these powers to the individual signs, and it gets kind of crazy, but I'm enjoying it. It's fun.
Like the things that you tell me about that you approach in that game, like I could tell they're cool mechanics, but the more you talk about it, the more I'm like, I'm so glad I quit that game. When I did.
It does get more complex, that's for sure.
I like it, yeah. But so it sounds like cool puzzles, but I just don't like sitting. Like, I think the only puzzling I like to do is like a Sudoku. That's like math. I'm like, sweet,
right? Or it's like an Uncharted puzzle.
Yeah. When it's like a gameplay puzzle, even then, sometimes I get annoyed, like God of War, like I said. But totally, awesome. This week I played on Monday. I continued Andrew's weekly stream of Among Us, and I wasn't the imposter so much this time, so that was exciting. I
Amazing.
hate being the imposter.
I
I'm
love
I'm
it.
so bad. Like I still don't understand the game enough to be like, oh, this is what I was doing.
Right.
Like, what tasks were you doing? I'm like, I slid the credit card.
Yeah.
I played Simon Says.
He was like, "What were you doing? I killed someone." I mean,
Yeah. One time I straight up said, they're like, I saw Jeff kill someone. And I said, in my defense, I tried to kill you too. And so
I think that was me when I saw you on cams, right? I was like, I literally saw
Amazing.
Jeff on cams.
and my partner tried to talk me out of it, but like she could not. I just shut up for the rest of the stream.
that's hilarious.
Yeah. So I also played Ape Out. I finished that game.
Congratulations.
It was really cool. There's like a bonus level you could do at the end, and I'm still deciding if I want to do it. The first time I did it, it's a really long level, and I got almost to the end, and I played it 3 or 4 more times, and I didn't even get like a quarter of the way through. So I
Nice.
just got really lucky on that first run.
Damn.
But I really enjoyed the game. Really simple, mindless game, and it kind of reminded me of Hotline Miami, where you just kind of go in, and the difference though is I think the level switches up every time you die.
Oh.
Like you can't memorize the run and do better every time. Like even the layout of the level switches every time, and you just have to work through it.
Interesting.
So sometimes you would get lucky, and sometimes there would be like 4 people right in front of you, and you would have no chance of getting by them, and you just had to take it. And then I also played Hades. I've been playing on the Adventure Hawkins Twitch channel.
Yee.
At first, I played from my Nintendo Switch, but it wasn't playing as well, so I got it on Steam, and I started a brand new run from the start. And last night, at around 12:30, I got all the way to the 4th level.
My God.
With Alex and Clay cheering me on, and it was stressful. But I did it. I didn't beat the run, and I heard even when I do, there's a reason to go back and do it again and again and again and again.
Gotcha.
But I got really close, and I think I got to what I think is the last boss.
Cool.
Dang.
Yeah, they were just really excited to see me beat the 3rd boss, so that they can clip my reaction to what happens after. So if you know what happens after, I suggest you go watch the clip, because my reaction actually is pretty funny.
Nice.
Yeah, so those are the
awesome.
games that I was playing this week. I'm probably gonna stream Hades after this,
Cool.
TBH.
Yeah.
I'm
go.
super into it. I am having a really good time, and I can see why everyone loves that game. It is so addicting. Like I
is.
went on and I called it one run through hell last night, and I was like, I'm just gonna do it once. And then I did it once, and I'm like, I got pretty far. I'll do it again. So I did 2. But it took me like 2.5 hours. It was really stressful.
Oh my God.
So like the further you can go, the longer the run is, and
Right.
sometimes it's just all you have time for.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next we're gonna move on to news and rumors.
News.
These are things that we saw along the week that were relevant. I'll go first. Days Gone is coming to the PC. It's the next one after Horizon Zero Dawn. That's gonna make the migration to PC gaming. It seems like they've been working on it since February 2020.
Wow.
Which is, I think, a month before they announced Horizon Zero Dawn. So it makes you wonder how many other games are coming to PC.
Right.
PlayStation executives have already said more will come. I did hear a rumor that the Uncharted series is coming to the PlayStation 5 and PC, which would be huge.
That'd be gigantic.
I don't know if it's enough for me to play all of them again, but maybe 4. I'd play 4 again.
Okay.
But I like, especially 1. 1 was such a slog.
Yeah.
Like that was
Looking
that
back on
I
it.
almost didn't play the rest of them because I didn't like 1 so much.
That's
But it's dope. Yeah. So
all about that sustainability, man. They're starting to realize like they have to find other ways to make more money. And this is an easy way to do that, just by reselling their games on PC, and people will buy them.
it's double dipping. It's what Rockstar Games does. They're like, why don't you buy it again for
Yep.
computer?
Exactly.
and it works.
Why don't you buy it again
hey,
for
does.
PS5?
Like if you're not gonna see any, like if you're already lowering the price to $20 for the top, and people are only buying it on sale for $5-10, why not release it for PC to a bunch of people who've never played it,
Right.
or who want to play it in 4K 60 FPS?
Yep.
And they'll pay full price.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
do
They
it.
will.
Like I could see Spider-Man on there 10 years down the line.
Dude,
Oh, sure, yeah.
it's just a matter of time that people are just gonna all be PC players.
Yeah, true. It's an expensive hobby, though. I tell you.
I guess if you do it right, you can make it happen. But
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Nathan, tell us your news.
So this video got revealed this week from Microsoft, introducing Microsoft Mesh. Basically, what this is it's like a software that enables developers to build like this, immersive, multi-user, cross-platform kind of mixed reality. Basically, ultimately, what I saw out of that video was they are perfecting hologram technology, and it's super exciting. From the video that we saw, it looks like, it looks pretty impressive. But then again, I think it's just a demo. I think it's just a hype factor, because I remember you were talking that you had watched a demo on, was it the Oculus or whatever? Or
no, I just watched, like, it was on the Microsoft YouTube channel.
Gotcha.
It was just like a hands-on, and it was like the guy using it for the first time.
Right. And basically, according to you, they were all like avatars. But in the video that we had seen, it shows like the actual people in people's rooms, like working on projects and like moving things around on their desks and like shifting things and placing things down. We're talking like Star Wars, but like crisp. We're talking like Star Wars holograms, but HD. And it looks pretty spectacular. If that's the end goal, that's pretty exciting. But
yeah, like if it gets to that point, I will be. I mean, $3,500 for the HoloLens that everyone was using.
Right.
But by that point, maybe it'll be $1,000.
Right. Exactly. Maybe it'll be more accessible, and who knows? Maybe, I don't know if we'll see it in our lifetime, but we might actually see like more people having hologram meetings in their homes, but. Who knows? Because with the whole pandemic and everything, it kind of sparked the question of, well, what if this were ever to happen again? We'd have to find a better way to move on with our life than shutting everything down, clearly. Just because of it kind of killed so many jobs, but, we had to. So it was kind of like a catch-22. And this could be the answer for any kind of, issues that happen in the future, for a lot of companies, not every company, but probably a majority of companies. It could save the entire production and industry. So really exciting.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to picture like jobs it could apply for. Like at my warehouse job, sometimes we have will calls where customers will come in and need parts. Like if I was to do that digitally and like you can't actually walk, so I'm picturing the teleportation, like you're like, come this way, and then your avatar just teleports right over here.
Yeah, I can see it'd be janky, but
I think that'd be super funny.
That would be hilarious. But it looks like as of now, it looks like it's just going to be an avatar thing for quite a while till they perfect actually the hologram, tech. But anyway, Microsoft Mesh, go check it out. It looks pretty cool.
That sounds amazing, honestly.
I was going to add, you thought you saw an Oculus Rift in there, but I think that was an HTC headset.
Oh, okay.
So I'm wondering if it's all headsets, VR headsets that would work for it for now, or just select ones.
According to the article that I was reading, it looked like it was many devices. So I think
your phone works too.
Yeah, the phone. So I'm pretty sure I saw Oculus Rift 2 in there. So
dope.
Oculus Quest, exciting. Oculus Quest.
Yeah. Cool. That's very exciting.
Yeah.
Andrew, what is your news for the week?
Well, it wasn't an official reveal from Nintendo, but a handful of very reliable leakers released some specs that they think they found on the upcoming Switch. Some stuff that I thought was pretty exciting. There was generic stuff that we already knew was probably going to be there, which was obviously it's going to have 4K pass through. The thing that wasn't expected that I thought was cool was it's going to, in handheld mode, play in 4K. And the thing that I thought was, if this is true, this is freaking amazing. The handheld screens will be, it was an inch and a half bigger. They'll be 7 inches. And they will be OLED. If that is true, that is like absolute game changer. Like a handheld OLED device. I mean, I was just yeah. So probably gonna be pricey if that's true. But if it is, that's I don't know. That's awesome.
That would be so tempting to trade in my Switch.
I'm gonna say I highly doubt that it's true. but
Yeah.
that would be awesome. I only say highly unlikely because Nintendo, instead of remaking Ocarina of Time, they did Skyward Sword. So I think that alone
Signifies where they're
signifies where Nintendo's going with any
I know.
updates.
They're going to be like, well, there's new Joy-Cons.
Yeah, right.
Thank
Yeah,
you for
exactly.
coming to our Direct.
We know you wanted to hear about the Nintendo Switch Pro, but unfortunately, we're still working on it.
It's in reality, the new Joy-Cons are going to be shaped like the handles people get for it, and that's going to be the Pro.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
be a pro gamer.
It's just Xbox controllers split in half and they attach to the sides of a Nintendo Switch.
Honestly, I'm here for it.
Oh my god.
I would do it.
Fingers crossed, because that sounds dope. But
That'd be
they
cool.
have been so disappointing with announcements lately.
Yeah.
I agree. Cool.
Great. So we're going to move on to our monthly segment, Retrospect. This is where we look at games that have come out this month in history. And we're going to go all the way 35 years back. I'll start with this one. March 26, 1986, Ubisoft. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yep.
think
Ubisoft
so.
was founded. Fun fact about this one, in 2004, EA attempted a hostile takeover. They did this by trying to buy so many stocks that they would eventually own majority of the company and take it away from the five brothers that started it. But obviously it didn't work.
Wow.
That's the most EA thing I've ever heard in my entire
Right?
life.
EA, it's in the game. My god.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
And I believe it's
Nathan.
Ubisoft. No, I'm just kidding.
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft.
I also read that it used to be two words, Ubisoft.
Oh,
then
interesting.
They combined it into one word.
Yeah,
so.
Ubi software. I get it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it makes sense, but Ubisoft it rolls off better.
It does.
No space. Nathan,
No
why don't you read the next one?
All right, 30 years ago, we had Neverwinter Nights for the PC, March of 1991. It was the first multiplayer online role-playing game to display graphics. It ran from 1991 to 1997 on AOL. Holy hell.
Dial that up, baby.
You've got graphics.
Wow, it moves and it's just like skipping.
Yeah.
like-
That's amazing. I've heard of
yeah.
Neverwinter Nights, but I've never played that game, obviously.
And like when I looked it up, it really what came up was like I think there was a 1998 version and a 2002 version.
Okay.
But it was like a gold box thing, which I guess was highly regarded, and it has to do with something Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
Was on the cover of it, so it didn't say anything about Dungeons and Dragons at all in the Wikipedia article.
Yeah.
But it's dope that was the first online RPG to have graphics.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andrew, why don't you read us the next one?
Yeah. 25 years ago, Resident Evil 1 on PS1, March 22nd, 1996. This game won Worst Dialogue in the Guinness Book of World Records Gamers Edition. It contained lines such as, "That was too close. You were almost a Jill sandwich." And
Oh,
it's a weapon. It's really powerful, especially against living things. Oh, man, how far have we come?
I'm assuming that's just because of the bad translation, maybe.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe, but like
'Cause it was originally-
I feel like the pun was intentional, and they thought
Oh,
that was good.
That is, I mean, that's
I don't
hilarious.
even know if there's a pun.
Yeah, I love that. I love a Jill sandwich. I mean, come on, that is just that's as like I don't know what to say about that. That's amazing.
Oh,
Wow, good stuff.
I couldn't decide between these two games for 25 years. So again, 25 years ago, we had Super Mario RPG for the Super Nintendo. Came out on March 9th, 1996.
Nice.
This was the first time Nintendo used Mario to tell a story. Sorry, I put the wrong emphasis. Using Mario to tell a story, which eventually led to other RPGs like Paper Mario, which I've never played, and I feel
Neither
like
have
I
I.
should.
You should.
I really want to.
Yeah.
They look cool.
They're good
Yeah.
games.
I heard the most recent one was dope.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
not Origami King, the one on Switch. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
I played straight through it.
Nice.
Gotta do it. Also, during different times throughout the game, you could find both Link from Legend of Zelda and Samus from Metroid taking naps.
Lit.
I love that.
that's the-
Just like snoring.
Great. Nathan, give us the next one.
This is actually a favorite of mine. 20 years ago, we had Conker's Bad Fur Day for the N64, March 5th, 2001. 2001? My God. So Rare partnered with Playboy to promote the game at colleges around the U.S. The winners were rewarded with Conker t-shirts and beer mugs. One of the winners was Neil Druckmann, who would later go on to work for Naughty Dog. That is amazing. I love that fun fact.
Of Last of Us.
Dude, that
won
is
a
so
beer
cool.
mug.
Oh my god, another fun fact. Conker was originally intended as a family-friendly game for kids, but was retooled for adults after the E3 presentation garnered criticism. Criticism, sorry. Gamered? Yeah, my glasses. Yeah, this game is fantastic, and it's so like raunchy and wrong. I need to buy it. I think it's like $60 like on eBay or something, but I have to get it.
What?
I have to own it.
Dude, just emulate it.
Just emulate it.
Don't
But
buy
I want
that.
it. I want it on the N64. I want the original experience. Anyway.
All right. 15 years ago, Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. That's one before Skyrim, right? 4 was...
Yes.
Yeah. The game looks very interesting, but as soon as you play, you get disappointed over and over until you die inside. Jacob Suzo? Am I reading that right? Jacob
Tisco?
Tisco? 4 stars. I imagine you can
Yeah,
find a fun fact.
sometimes when we can't find a fun fact, we get bad reviews. Like me and Emily both looked up fun facts for this, but they were so like technical and you really needed to know about the game.
Right.
And I thought a game like this big would have like really interesting things.
You would
but it was
think.
like, if you go in here, it's a reference to Morrowind. And I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
would say
this.
arguably like the two Elder Scrolls people care about are like Morrowind and Skyrim.
Dude,
Yeah,
Oblivion. I don't know. Oblivion though was my jam, man. That's how I got introduced to Elder Scrolls. Was
Really?
Oblivion. Yes, this was
I-
my first Elder Scrolls game. It was I loved every second of it.
The first one I played was like accidental. It was on my dad's computer. It was Morrowind, and like I remember him specifically saying like, "Don't play this game," because I was like 7, and I was like, "I'm obviously gonna play this fucking game."
Well, in
And
that case,
I couldn't figure anything out. I couldn't get like 10 feet without dying, but it was so great.
nice. It was amazing.
Continuing on, sorry. It really is incredible how games have degraded in the last 10 years. HR Co. 0 stars.
like that's all you had to say about this game.
How games have degraded in the last 10 years. Amazing.
Damn,
No, it's a great
savage.
game. Honestly, I loved it. I loved it to death, and it was my introduction to I think like the medieval open world genre, and I just fell in love with it. So
Yeah,
good times.
Yeah, it is a very significant
Yeah.
anniversary, so that's fair.
I was hoping you were gonna add it now because I saw it and I was like, he better add Oblivion.
There was a couple I was stuck on, but yeah, I was like definitely for sure.
Yeah, awesome.
Next one, 10 years ago, Pokemon Black and White came out for the Nintendo DS on March 6, 2011. It was the first Pokemon game to introduce Pokemon designed by non-Japanese artists. And that's how we got Pokemon like Vanillite, who's a literal ice cream cone.
Mistakes
Wow.
were made.
Wow.
Yeah, they
Mistakes were made.
Because we were just talking about how most of them are like based on real animals.
Yeah,
And
that's
they're like,
right.
we don't care anymore. Here's
Yeah.
an ice cream cone. The next one we got was a review Emily found. Creatures Inc. and Pokemon Corp should think of a newer spin-off than the series with the same plot. I am disgusted by the black and white Pokemons. They were ridiculously not memorable. They are like trashes that came along to the series. And that was by Shiri Gogubashu. 0 stars.
Can I like make a comment on this?
Yeah.
So this was the first generation that like I kind of like stopped even knowing what was happening with Pokemon. And when I was playing Pokemon Sword and Shield, like I remember coming across Vanillite and I thought it like was in this generation, the newest one that came out. And I was
Oh.
like, wow, they have really fallen off the horse because this is embarrassing.
They fell off years ago.
Yeah.
They are like trashes. That's amazing.
That was the quote that like Emily loved so much. She's like, we
Yeah.
have to include this.
She
one.
mentioned it in chat, and I was like, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Uh,
Nathan, finish us off.
All right, 5 years ago, the Oculus Rift was released of March 28, 2016. Oculus started on Kickstarter with 2.5 million in 2012 and were bought by Facebook in 2014 for $2 billion.
Oh, jeez.
My God, what a profit margin.
I know. Like,
Holy hell.
then you're just done with it. You're like, we made our money.
You're like,
Bye.
and we're done. Thank you so
Like-
much, Facebook. Great doing business with you.
if someone wanted to buy your company from that, would you still want to work for the company, or you just want to retire forever?
I'd retire.
Yeah.
I'd be
You
done.
might too.
I'd be done.
Yeah.
Like something about like your baby, like you want to see it through, but on the other hand, it's like Be like Tom from MySpace. Be like, I'm living my life.
Dude, I'd
Yeah.
become like a professional streamer, like on the like for the rest of my life. I'd just play video
Yeah.
games all day and just stream.
Travel the world or something.
And Nathan
Dude.
would still not have time because of his kids.
Right? Still wouldn't have time. I'm a billionaire. Don't have time.
I know.
Can't afford nanny.
Can't afford these housekeepers.
These housekeepers.
We can only
all
afford
6
six.
of them.
I need to help.
Dead.
Oh god.
All right. Great. So that is retrospect, and we're going to move on to our main topic, predicting Gen 10. So we're going to present each of our scenarios as if this is B3, Backlog and Beyond Bonanza, our own event where we are presenting the next generation of console gaming and where we see gaming up to 10 years from now. But before we get into that, I found people's thoughts 11 years ago on what they thought gaming would look like today.
Oh,
And I wanted to read a couple of those first.
that's hecka cool.
People thought 3D glasses were no longer going to be needed for the 3D console experience. Which, to be fair, we did get the 3DS in 2011, but most people, like Emily, just flipped it off because it gave her a headache.
Yeah.
And 3D TVs became a huge flop. So I give this one
Right.
half a point.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Someone said the rest of these are from IGN. I would love to go so far as to say technology like touchable holograms would be implemented into TVs by that point.
Wow.
But I'm not crazy. Maybe another 10 years after that. Franchises like Mario, Zelda, GTA, and Call of Duty will still be running strong.
It's
Yep.
true. Yeah.
Hopefully titles like Mass Effect and Assassin's Creed cement their franchises as well and continue producing titles.
Interesting.
So that one was like almost spot on because like Mass Effect's doing a re-release, which I'm assuming will eventually lead to a new
Yeah, the
game.
Legendary Edition.
Yeah, so that's dope.
But Assassin's Creed is still flying high. Like,
Oh yeah, and
well,
it's
the thing
like
is, though, they-
reinvented itself.
Exactly. They completely changed the entire way you play the game now. So you could say
Yeah,
that that
they
person's
kept themselves fresh.
pretty accurate.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 for that one. Physical media will completely phase out by 2020. All games will be sold through digital downloads straight to consoles, and games like GameStop will close for good. Best Buy taking huge hits as no one will buy DVDs or physical games anymore. That's kind
Somewhat
of true.
true.
Like, yeah, like games or Best Buy has definitely toned down how much physical media they've
Yeah.
been selling.
Yeah,
They're all
it's-
about that hardware now.
It's true
Yeah.
to an extent.
Yeah.
there will always be people. It's like books. There will always be people
Yep.
who want to buy the physical copies.
Always.
Oh, for sure.
But-
Like the collectors.
Yeah.
Yep.
This could change game rental as well. As with Blockbuster, Dead, streaming services like Netflix could offer games for a few days that self-destruct after X number of hours of possession or play.
Interesting.
I don't think we have anything quite like that to rent, but then you have
No.
something like Game Pass
Right.
or PlayStation Now where you could stream the games
Right.
and
Yeah.
not own them for a limited amount of time. So it's kind of similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're renting constantly.
Yeah. Couple more. Mashable predicted Apple would have a console, which kind of seemed like would be a no-brainer for them, but
Maybe eventually,
they're
but I don't know.
kind of on a hold.
Well, I mean, you think about, I mean, like in a sense, like how many games you play on your phone and like on other Apple products, like they have like a console and like
Right. Well, their Apple,
loose
their
terms.
Apple, was it Apple Games or whatever? Like, they're pretty successful with that model right now. And don't they have like a console that's like $16,000 right now?
Oh,
they're-
yeah, I don't know
they're-
much about that, but
It's their new PC or whatever.
yeah.
It's so ridiculous. It's
I haven't seen it.
gigantic,
Yeah.
dude. It's
And then like they also
way
have that
overpriced.
VR headset coming out, which is insanely priced.
Yep.
One business executive smartly anticipated the switch with the prediction the disappearance of a clear distinction between home consoles and handheld consoles. But they also said the screen as we know it might be a thing of the past, which is not exactly true.
Nope.
Yeah.
And then lastly, one journalist predicted we won't see brand new consoles like the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox 720 or the Wii 2. They saw a future in incremental improvements, which we did see with last generation with the
Yeah.
PlayStation Pro and the Xbox One X.
Mm-hmm.
So they were heading in the right direction, but we're still getting like those major updates in between
Right.
with the incremental as well. So though that is the end of that. That is what people predicted for today. There were some people that were pretty close, but like
Yeah.
touchable holograms.
I mean,
Well,
you could argue that
that.
that's kind of like, augmented reality in a way. The whole
Kind
thing,
of, but
that Minecraft demo they did where they were actually and it was in the middle of that stage and people were actually playing and they were able to like move around and look at the actual like world in the middle of that map. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah. It's coming, but it's not quite there yet.
No, not yet.
Great. So we're going to move on to our own presentations. Nathan, why don't you go first?
Well, are we just kind of going back and forth? Or are we doing like everything?
I figured we do like each presentation.
Okay.
Because I have like segments that I don't think anyone else will have.
Okay.
Probably.
So I kind of didn't really like have a very organized way of doing this. I kind of just thought of things and wrote them down as I thought about them. So for Nintendo, I think by the time Gen 10 happens, they're going to finally get their shit together when it comes to online. They're going to figure it out. They're going to have a built-in chat system. It's going to happen, everybody. Nintendo's finally going to have chat.
Catch up 10 years. Yeah.
Finally. It's going to happen. So that was definitely the one thing like if they don't figure that out by that point, like what are they doing? Like why do you have to talk through your phone? It's just the dumbest shit ever. It's like I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Agree.
You know?
It is dumb.
Anyway, and then obviously I think at this point every console that's available will for sure be streaming in 4K 60 frames per second. That will be the norm, obviously. And I think consoles actually by that point will be promising probably up to 120 frames per second. I think that's what we'll be seeing around that time. The Xbox Series X, I see that turning into this thing where Xbox finally also gets their shit together and they come up with a naming convention. So get this. Next generation, we're going to be seeing the Xbox Series X2.
What? Like after all of the names they come up with, like it'd be so lackluster.
It would, but I mean, like think about it.
So
like
funny.
They're calling it the Series X. So what's next? The Series X2.
Guys, just wait for my name. It's gonna blow your freaking minds.
Honestly, like,
but I think it would make sense.
The
They could just call it XXS. Was it the XS2? They could just call it the XS2 or the SX2, whatever.
X squared.
Honestly, if they just called it the Xbox 5, I wouldn't be upset.
Right?
Just like,
why don't they do that? Like, I don't understand why they just don't do that. Like, who gives a shit? Just give in and say PlayStation you won with your naming convention because you kept it simple, and we'll follow you. It's like, come on. But I think they're gonna finally stick with a convention in next gen. I think it's gonna be the Series X2. I'm calling it right now. AAA games are going to become games of service for sustainability. So I think we're going to start to see a lot of AAA games turn into these things where you pay monthly for a game, and you're going to be getting content over the course of years. So instead of Ubisoft's way of saying, well, we'll just make a 60, 70-hour game, we're going to give you 10 hours for the price of $10 a month. And
that's upsetting.
I know, but I see it happening. I see this exactly like WoW, exactly. I see this trend happening where it, for sustainability purposes, these AAA games they're not getting enough money to make up for the amount of time they're spending on these games. So I feel like in order for them to make up for that loss, they're going to somehow come up with a way to get the return over the long period, like the long game, basically. It sucks. I don't want to see this happen. I'd rather them make a 10-hour experience that's one of the best experiences I've ever had in my entire life than a 70-hour, slog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But these games continue to sell, so why wouldn't people, like for instance, the Assassin's Creed series, that franchise? Why wouldn't they just continue, a whole new way of playing those games where you're just paying monthly instead? These subscription services are kind of turning into everything as a subscription service, and it's going to get scary when everything is a subscription service and you have no idea what you're paying for how much for what.
Yeah.
This isn't one of my predictions, but going along with what you said, I could also see it where Netflix used to be the one and only, and like all of the big stuff would go there.
Right.
But now you're seeing Hulu, Disney Plus, Peacock. Like
Apple
I think
TV.
eventually we're gonna get to the point where every studio is gonna have their own service like that. So
Yep.
I'm at least hopeful that instead of every game being a monthly service, that we like I subscribe to PlayStation, or like even just Naughty Dog, and then I get their
Right.
library.
Yeah.
Ubisoft.
And then it's just whoever I'm feeling that month.
Right. EA
I
games.
could do like a run where I play only Naughty Dog.
That'd be
Yeah.
kind of neat. Actually, that wouldn't be too bad because that'd probably be if it was a way to make it cheaper than spending $60 a year on PlayStation Plus,
Yeah.
or you could spend $60 over the course of multiple game companies. Like that'd be interesting. But
And then PlayStation's like, you still have to pay $60 on top of that to play it on our console.
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just the fee to actually be a part of the club, you know. But yeah. So that's where I kind of see games going, unfortunately. The larger titles, of course. And I don't think it's going to be all, but I guarantee we're going to probably see a few start to do this. And they're going to test it out. I don't know how it's going to do, but we're going to at least see it happen. GTA 6 will have had 3 releases.
I thought you were going to say GTA 6 will come out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. GTA 6 will have had 3 releases by Gen 10. Gen 10 will see the 3rd release. It'll be...
Grand Theft Auto 5 will re-release on the PlayStation 6.
Probably also true.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
It's going to be
GTA
the
5 will
first
have its
announcement.
4th release. Oh my god. And also a couple of the things I thought of. Silent Hill will be on its 3rd game. It's going to either be a reboot or remake at this point. Someone's
Okay.
going to pick up Silent Hill. Someone is going to pay for it. Someone's going to put down the big bucks. And Silent Hill's going to come back. And it's going to be, I think, by Gen 10, we're going to have a 3rd Silent Hill game.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the Assassin's Creed franchise, I think it's going to be gone.
I agree.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think it's going to go away. I think Ubisoft is going to eventually come up with an IP that's going to completely go in a different direction. And it's going to just blow the Assassin's Creed series out of the water. Or they're going to take the idea of Assassin's Creed and turn it into a whole new IP. I don't know.
That's true.
that's
I
kinda-
think that's closer because like I think it could be like COD where they just never stop.
Right. It's just an annual thing you play. And
And then they're gonna start remaking their own games.
That's right.
And yeah, so
Yeah,
I see
Assassin's
it.
Creed Assassin's Creed remake or reboot. Assassin's
Honestly,
Creed
I'd
remake.
be
probably.
down for Assassin's Creed 1 and 2 remake.
I mean,
I
they've
would
kind
too.
of been like inching towards it with like multiplayer, but I could see Assassin's Creed becoming like a Destiny style MMO.
Mhm. That'd be interesting.
That would be if
That'd be
like you
cool.
had your own like
mhm.
Assassin's group.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would be
Dude.
awesome.
And you like can actually like do like gear upgrades like Destiny and like have like raids and shit, or you know
Oh, and you could like change time periods on the fly.
that.
Oh,
Yeah, that'd be
shit.
sick. Yeah, like I feel like that could be a direction that they haven't tapped
That'd be
into.
badass.
Yeah.
I'd be down. Yeah, like Assassin's Creed no longer turns into like a separate series. It's just now one just annual thing you pay for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I could see that.
That'd be
Dope.
cool. All right,
You
cool.
got
So
anything else?
That's it. That's it for me. I didn't have much.
That was awesome. Great, Andrew. What do you got?
All right, guys.
Andrew
the
stoked.
next the next Xbox, I think we can all agree, we've already acknowledged it, that they made a mistake in naming their consoles. We can all acknowledge that. The next Xbox is going to be titled Box X. Now, here's what Box X is going to do.
The Y box. I'm calling it.
And the worst part is they could have named it just Box and made the X capitalized, but they're like, no, Box X.
Or it's going to be like
No, it's
box with a
Bo-X.
giant X next to it. I don't know, something in that vein. All right. But here,
Bo-X.
this is actually funny because I didn't know about the Microsoft Mesh thing until you
Oh.
said it. I hadn't heard of it. But my
Okay.
idea of where consoles, like, realistically, they're not going to be here, but this is where I want them to be. All right, ready? So it's going to literally be a box, like, that you open up. So you're going to turn it on by, like... I've thought about this. I've never said it out loud, so it sounds stupid, but hear me out. You're going to literally...
Tinfoil hat over here.
open the box, okay, and that's how you turn it on. That's how you power it on. And
Okay.
regardless of what space you're in, like how big or small or like what the like layout of the room is, as soon as you turn on and open it, it does like a full scan of the room and like what your surroundings are. And this is I'm heading towards like a VR type thing. I didn't think of like holograms, but I guess that would like make sense too. But so it scans the entire room, it like scans your surroundings, and then in my brain it was a VR thing. So you put on a headset, and the console is aware of what everything around you is, and you have like basically a VR experience that for every game it caters to whatever space you are currently in some way. So whether that is like allowing you to physically move about, and then like it like boundaries you when it knows you're going to hit something in your space, because one of the things it scans is you as a person and where you start in the room. And basically it's just like a mix of virtual reality, but like also like physical reality, because you're moving in real time rather than just like using a controller while having a headset on, you know. And then it like powers off by closing the box.
That's cute.
But the idea of the idea behind that was just that like I think that like we're already moving in the direction of like I feel like virtual reality is like the most logical next step in like standard gaming. I feel like, even though like the whole thing of like it gives headaches and stuff and like whatever, like yes it totally does, but like there's gonna be ways to like get past that or go beyond that. The second part of it was maybe instead of like an actual headset is you like just have a pair of glasses that you put on, and so it's like you can still see like outside of the rim of your glasses like your physical world, but the glasses act as a screen for like what the box X has like scanned in your room, and so like you see the virtual reality through the glasses, but you yourself are aware of your surroundings because you still have like your peripherals. Yes. That or I think that what Nintendo did is going to become like a new standard that Xbox and PlayStation tap into. I think the idea of like being able to take a game and then like play it anywhere, like play it at your house, but then like take it up and like go on the bus and play it there, with like the same quality experience. I feel like it would be a mistake for other gaming companies to not tap into that idea in some way, just because like it was revolutionary. Like the Nintendo Switch was a revolutionary concept.
Yeah.
And I would be interested to see what companies like Sony and Microsoft that have always been sharper on like technical specs, like what they could do with that idea and how they could continue to improve it. On that idea, also in next gen, funny because you guys mentioned this, is how you think everyone's going to become PC gamers. I think it is the challenge of consoles in the next generation, and I think they're going to find a way to do it, since these are also companies that make computers, to at least at their release be on par of whatever the current technical capabilities of a computer is.
Right.
Now, like I don't think that we're going to see a world where you can like upgrade components within your consoles like a PC, at least easily. Maybe that's a possibility, but I do think we're going to see a generation where like at their release, like they are absolutely on par with whatever like the highest whatever of computers is that moment in time.
Gotcha. Almost like what could you imagine, like, you know, kind of how we have the iPhone system and kind of what Xbox did, where you're paying for your console, you know, monthly. So PlayStation, Xbox could potentially put together gaming PCs. You know, they could literally just basically put a PC together, slap their brand on it, and then charge you a monthly fee for it.
Honestly, and then it would be like, and then you could continue to like same as an iPhone, where like you trade it in, like you pay a smaller fee to get like, the new one. I mean, I just think that, like you said, we're reaching an age where it's like consoles are in constant competition with PCs, and PCs are obviously winning, for everything except like user friendliness compared to consoles. And I think that it is a battle that consoles can win if the companies put their ingenuity in the correct directions.
Right. So going back to your box idea, for some reason this is a little gross, but I just pictured like going to the bathroom and bringing the box in there with me, and then like playing SimCity while I'm taking a shit. Just like on the bathroom floor, just like moving things around. You're just I just pictured that. I'm like, that is the dumbest shit ever, but that'd be so funny.
Yeah.
Like, honey, what's taking so long? Nothing. And you're just like,
Don't
physically
walk
moving
in
your,
here.
you're physically moving your hands like while you're sitting on the toilet, like moving cities around and like just you're looking at your city on the ground of the bathroom floor. Like that'd be hilarious.
My poop time is tripled.
Oh,
Poop time.
also out of left field, but I feel like this is my last prediction for the next generation is there are
Alright.
like I feel like there's gonna be some gabajillionaire who is like a nostalgic for all the games he played in like the 80s or like early 90s or whatever, and someone is gonna like do something like resurrect a company like Sega and create like a brand new Sega console, but like it's going like that will be in competition with the current consoles. I think we're gonna see a new company rise, like either from their ashes or rise from nothing, and like be like one of the main things that people buy. I think that
Dope.
the main three are it's like an old world order. It's time for them to like have some competition to like keep ingenuity getting pushed farther.
I agree, but I
could
honestly see
happen.
I see Microsoft buying Sega personally.
Or something like that.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I see that happening, to be honest.
But yeah, I do like.
Which
I
sucks,
do
but-
also see another major player popping up because like
They have
Yeah.
to.
first it was Nintendo and Sega, or not first, but like Nintendo, Sega, and then you had PlayStation come in and Sega just kind of went out there. But then Xbox showed up, so it could like I'm surprised we haven't gotten anyone new yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. It's a good point. Like, you know, like in the very beginning of generation of gaming, there were so many different consoles
you
that
had, like,
came out, but
Atari.
they were
and-
all
yeah.
yeah, but like, how many companies were there really? There weren't that many, but they went and came pretty quickly. Like, I don't know.
Only Nintendo held on
Considering.
from the dark
Yeah.
ages.
Yeah, Nintendo passed through, Sega did until I believe Sony kind of,
Yeah, the PlayStation
stomped.
2 destroyed the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And
anyway.
there goes Sega.
Sega.
All right, so that was your B3 presentation, Andrew.
Yeah, it was mostly based around the Box X, which I was really proud of.
The Box X. It is like the funniest shit ever. I love it.
All right, I broke
Amazing.
mine down into different companies, and then I have general thoughts. So first, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna say most of the major consoles will have 8K. Like I think that's gonna
Yeah.
be the thing next time. Because
For
we're
sure.
already starting to get like 8K TVs.
Mhm.
They're promising
think-
8K already too.
Yeah, so I think that's going to come. So first, I got Sony. They're gonna come out with the PlayStation 6. I think they're gonna be fully backwards compatible this time.
Oh, I
think-
forgot something.
Really?
Shit. Fuck.
Go ahead, Andrew. Go ahead.
I think that at least Microsoft and Sony, whatever the next console is with the system you will receive online for free a complete backlog of every single game up until like the PS4. Like everything from there backwards, just like online for free. You click it like, yeah, I want to play Resident Evil 1, and like it's just there as like a base with the console. Sorry, I'm done.
I absolutely don't see it free, but I don't
say
think
the same
anyone would
thing.
give that service away for free.
Or like
No
I don't know,
way.
for money.
They're
but it's
money
there.
hungry.
Yeah.
It's
Um,
there. It's there.
Okay. So
Fair enough, fair
going
enough.
back, PlayStation 6 fully backwards compatible. They're going to figure the PlayStation 3 out, and it's going to happen. Fully integrated haptic feedback in the trigger, like the triggers. It's going to be all of the buttons. They're all going to be raised slightly higher, and you're going to feel the feedback in all of the controllers.
Interesting.
They're going to be the way they'll be elevated is almost like a mechanical keyboard, and I think that's how it's going to work.
Cool.
I think they're finally going to get full video chat support in game, so you'll be able to see and organize all of your friends on the screen, and then you could stream it that way.
Oh, that'd
Cool.
be sick.
So that way you wouldn't have to worry about it whatsoever.
Nice.
Nintendo, they're finally going to get 4K graphics while everyone else gets 8K. I think their next big innovation will be that their headset will more easily convert to a VR headset like they tried to do with the Labo. I
Okay.
think that was just a concept. It didn't work very well, but I think they're going to try to perfect it further. And I think it's going to work with all first-party games And if it's not directly first person, it'll be a theater mode that works with any game. So either you can like look at the third person and be able to look in the world, or you'll be able to play the games as if you're in a movie theater and they're on a giant screen. So you could play
Cool.
these on a giant screen anywhere, or you can play it directly in front of you.
Interesting.
Cool.
I think there will be a handheld mode where the Pro controller, much like the current one, will be able to stretch out and fit around the screen as, like I think Nathan said, split an Xbox controller in half. It's almost going to be like that, but you could like open it and then the screen just fits in the middle there and it fits around the screen. I also say they will have backwards compatibility, but it's going to be timed releases and you're going to have to repurchase every single one of them for full price.
Wow.
Because Nintendo sucks like that.
Yeah, they do.
True.
But you're right. I believe it.
For Microsoft, my prediction is no console. And my reasoning for that is that they are going to release a game-ready PC.
I see that.
I think they're going to form partnerships with companies such as NVIDIA to get either a streaming PC, or you'll have the option to get like a download-ready PC that can handle any of their games. You'll be able to upgrade and take out parts just like you would on a regular PC. It'll start with the base one for the download, and they'll say, okay, mid-generation, we have this new graphics card to make your games look even better. And it'll be like specifically Xbox brand. And it will guarantee that all games produced by Xbox or released for the Xbox will work until the next generation.
Wow. So Andrew's
you'll
talking
still-
about. Sorry. go
And
ahead.
you would be able to use Steam with it, and you would be able to use like it as a normal computer.
Right.
It doesn't guarantee Steam games will all work, at least to the full capability.
Right.
But any game on the Xbox store will work
Right.
on this system.
Nice. So like Andrew is
and then
like talking about opening a box, and you're
Yeah.
talking about Microsoft thinking outside the box.
So I think, so to me, it's like an Xbox brand PC. Like you have Dell and HP. I think Xbox is going to be its own brand. It's just guaranteed to work. And I also think, since it's a PC, that it is going to work with all VR headsets. So they wouldn't need to make their own. They just make their computer work with everybody else's.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that one was the one I was most excited for. If Microsoft made a dope computer like that, I would be so in.
I was gonna say, would you go with that over the PS6 if you had to choose?
Ooh. I don't know if I'd go with it over the PS6 because I still think they'll have exclusives that I want more.
Mhm.
But I think that could be my next computer.
That's the
Cool.
thing,
Something
right?
like
It's
that.
like Microsoft needs to do something, because in terms of content,
They
unless
kind of
there's
are
like
though.
yeah, but like you said, exclusives. I mean,
Yeah.
PlayStation.
Like they
I know
did
what
buy
you mean.
Bethesda, so they'll have some stuff, but like
yeah,
they need to keep moving in that direction.
You're right. No, like you're definitely right. Like they but like when I mean by like they're doing stuff is they, like Jeff said, they bought Bethesda,
yeah,
which means we're pretty much, we've been talking about it for a while now, but it's almost guaranteed that one of those big franchises out of Bethesda is going to be exclusive, and that's what's going to drive people, insane on PlayStation side. They're gonna be like, no, I've been playing that game for years, and Xbox gonna be like, we don't give a shit.
yeah.
And then people are going to want to buy the Xbox because they've been playing the Fallout franchise for all these years, and all of a sudden Fallout's just going to be exclusive,
Yeah.
Yeah.
for a year or something. They're going to do shit like that, and it's going to actually benefit the company.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
But you're right. You're right. They need to do something.
Yeah. I wrote that Google will make its own physical console, but it's only going to last one generation, and then they'll give up on it. Digital and it's going to be digital and streaming only, and it's going to be the size of a Google Nest or like a Chromecast device. You plug it into your TV, and I think it'll be really great for portable gaming. But they're going to be like, nah, this sucks, and then they're going to stop supporting it, and everyone who has one will be fucked.
That's kind of like what
Yeah.
Stadia is, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's where Stadia is going, and I think they're gonna like try to double down and do this like portable
Wow.
gaming device.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think every console will be digital only from then on out. I think this is where it will stand. If they're nice, what they would like, they could make everyone buy their old games backwards compatible, like, and do it that way. They could do a digital trade-in program. I think it'd be really cool if all companies are like, send us your disc and we will sell it to you at a discounted price. Like that game you bought for $60, give us the disc, and then you could rebuy it for $20 and have it digitally forever.
Gotcha.
Every console here on out. The other way I thought of it is like, for Voodoo, for disc to digital, all you have to do is scan the barcode to prove you have the movie.
Right.
And then you could get it on Voodoo for a smaller price. They could implement something like that, but what would stop me from being like, oh, I have Spider-Man, I'm just going to do this, and then I give Andrew my copy of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then he could do it for $5. So I don't think they would do something like that. So I think, if anything, they would be like, send us your version, and then we have it forever, and then we'll give you the digital version for your console. I predict GameStop will go out of business in store.
Okay.
And then they will pivot to hardware and retro consoles if they're going to continue selling it all, and they'll also still be a digital retailer.
That'd be a smart move.
Yeah. And then for virtual reality, I said next-gen VR will have gloves for haptic feedback, so you could actually feel the sensation of grabbing things.
Oh,
Nice.
They'll have like sensors on your entire body so that you could see full body movement instead of just arms and head.
Nice.
And I don't think we're going to be at sunglasses size yet, but it's definitely going to be a more modern, sleeker design.
Nice.
And they'll definitely be easier to put on and off. I'm most looking forward to when you can just wear them like glasses over your ear and not having to like tighten it on your head and be
like
this
a helmet.
whole giant thing. Yeah. The helmet's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
But that's where I think that's as far as virtual reality is going to go in the next 10 years.
Okay. You know, I to add to a couple of things you guys said, when Andrew was talking about, you know, how they're gonna Sony and Xbox are gonna probably implement what Nintendo has done with the Switch. Like, I could honestly see PlayStation and Xbox actually coming out with their own Switch. Like,
Yeah.
no joke. Like,
Yeah.
I totally see that, because what's their the whole idea is for you to play their games all the time, wherever you are, no matter where you are, the convenience. That would be the best way to do it, is just to make a handheld version that attaches to the console, essentially. Like, you could even have, like, it's like a two thing. Like, so you have your PlayStation 5, right? And then it's almost like a streaming device at that point. Not necessarily physical, but it's all streaming, but you can stream wherever as long as you have some kind of internet connection.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I think Xbox is doing that, like with the Xbox Anywhere, if you get the Ultimate Game Pass.
yes,
where you can play on any of your devices, which I think is really dope.
your tablets and stuff, which is awesome.
Yeah.
It is.
And like play on your phone anywhere. Like, you don't need a Vita if you could play it on your phone.
Exactly. And then your idea was that you were talking about the VR for Switch or Nintendo?
Yes.
Yeah, I was almost picturing it being called NVR because you're in VR.
Dead. I'm dead. I'm done. See you guys.
But they use the old Nintendo 64 N. Like, that'd be awesome. N6 Invix DR. I don't know. Stupid.
Oh, that was my other thought. Was like everything that I said, or all the companies do like a hard nostalgia thing where it's like the next console is like N64 revamped or some shit, but like obviously a new system, but like just like they know nostalgia is what's selling right now. Like, everyone knows it.
Right.
That's why they're re-releasing everything for the past 3 years. So
right. I'm waiting for that N64 Mini, man. They've already had the NES and the SNES Mini Classic or whatever. I want that N64 Mini. That'd be so badass. I would buy that shit, hands down.
Aren't they?
No,
There's a GameCube Mini that's confirmed, right? Isn't that coming out?
Oh, I don't know about that.
I mean, even if they made the console smaller, the old discs will still fit.
That was the thing. It's like they made it. I saw maybe it was someone said they want it, but that was what it was. Is like you use all the old discs if you have them, but it's like yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
if you made it like the size of an old iPod, that'd be dope.
Amazing.
I'm sure you could fit the technology in a much smaller device now. Anyway, I think that's everything I had for my B3.
Cool.
I was most excited for that Xbox computer, though. I hope it happens.
I can see that happening. They've been pushing the Game Pass super hard, and they were even trying to find a way to get rid of what is it, Xbox Gold. It seemed like they were trying to
I know, like doubling the
people away.
price. Are you kidding me?
Right?
But they were just trying to get people to do the full, was it
Yeah.
$15 a month for everything?
Right.
Yeah. They're like, get the ultimate or get nothing, nerd.
I was like, no. And they're like, yeah, oops.
Too soon.
We effed
too
up.
soon.
Cool.
Yeah. Great. So we're about an hour in. Do you want to try Video Game Taboo again?
I'm down with whatever you want to do, man.
Andrew, how did you feel about it last week?
I feel like I sucked at it, but I'm down to play it again.
Actually, no, we should switch. We should describe the games to Andrew this time.
Oh, okay. I'm down with that.
Yeah. So Andrew, you don't need the link. Nathan and I still have our links here, or at least I do.
I was going to bring something up, actually. Like, I forgot to mention it, but you know, like in video game, like in the regular Taboo, how you just keep flipping through cards and you can skip? What if, because at this point, you and I have actually had a perfect score.
True, yes.
So, what if, once we get to a spot where we're like, I don't know how to describe any of these games, what if we just hit refresh and we just keep going as much as we can? We try to get as many as we possibly can within that minute 90 seconds instead of just trying to get to 8.
I'm down for that. That's interesting because you're still at the mercy of what you see.
Right.
It is trusting each other that we're not like making up games we know the other person would know.
Right.
Or not
It's an honor system.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm down for that. We could start that way this time.
Let's do it right now then. Let me get this timer ready here.
We'll have to keep if you're on timer duty and I'm describing, I need you to keep track of how many he's gotten.
Okay, that's fine. I'll keep track.
Keep in mind, I'm a basic bitch gamer, so.
Yeah, no.
I'll keep track.
I think you'll be able to get some of these.
I'll use my fingers. All right. Whenever you're ready, Jeff, let me know.
Okay. Ready, set, go. This is a game where you're a small person and there's a lot of giants
Pikmin.
It's a PlayStation 2 game, came out originally. You ride on a horse and you go to each of these giants and you slay them.
Skip.
Okay. This one, you played it this year with Cloud Strife.
Final Fantasy 7.
Yep. This one was of PlayStation 2 or 2, I think, origin. Not Jack and Daxter, but their big rival. They're coming up with the new
Ratchet
one.
and Clank?
Yep. There you go. I think that's all you would know in this one. This one you could play as characters such as Samus, Kirby.
Oh, Super Smash.
And it's the latest
Super
one.
Smash Brothers, the Switch version. Brawl. Oh, what's it called? Super Smash Brothers. It's in my thing. I know it. Oh, Super Smash for the Switch. That one. It's not Melee or Brawl. It's.
I'll take a half point for that one. This one, Peter Parker.
Spider-Man.
All right, dope. Switch to a new one. This one, we just talked about its anniversary for the PlayStation 1. It's a horror game.
Oh, Resident Evil.
Great. This one, you play it. It's a first-person shooter. They have 2 of them on current
Destiny.
generation consoles.
Call of Duty.
When you're impending blank.
Doom.
Yes. And then.
That's time.
Okay, thank you. How many did we
That was
get?
5.
Okay, we did better than last.
What was the one
That
that I
was
skipped
better
in the
than
beginning?
3.
What was the tiny horse game?
Oh, Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh, I didn't play the game. I never.
Oh, someone put it in chat. But yes.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't have gotten that.
Alex did.
Yeah. I thought of Alex because she's playing that one. On this one, me and Nathan would have done well because it had Doki Doki Literature Club, Hellblade, Inside, and A Way Out. And Monster Hunter
Amazing.
World. We would have done so
Amazing.
well on that one.
Yeah, we would've done really well with that
What
one.
was the Smash title I couldn't figure out?
Ultimate.
Oh, is that what it's called?
Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
There's like
Ultimate,
7,
yeah.
and I've played all of them. Just give me a break.
Okay.
Uh,
Are you ready, Andrew?
Yes, so ready.
All right. Here we go. Okay. On your mark. The first one's going to be super easy. We lucked out. Get set. Go. Impending.
Doom.
Yes. Okay, this is the one that Jeff had just talked about, the horror one, but it's not the
Shadow
first
of the
one.
Colossus.
No,
Resident
no, no,
Evil.
no.
What?
It's this, not the first one.
Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
No,
What?
you were right. You said it. The horror game. The horror game. You just said it on
What?
PlayStation 1.
Resident
PlayStation,
Evil
the horror
1.
game. Yeah. So what's the one after that?
Resident Evil 2.
Yes. Okay. Next one. Geralt. It's a Netflix series now.
Witcher.
Yes.
The Witcher.
I gotta. Yes. Okay. Jeff and I are currently playing this one. We're playing this Let's Play together on YouTube. It's
Hades.
those two guys.
Oh,
No, it's the co-op game we're playing together. Did you see that on YouTube yet? Okay, never mind. Oh, well, okay. Okay, you drink out of this?
Cuphead.
Yes. Okay, this one is. I gotta skip. Dang it. Okay. Dang it. Okay. It's after Oblivion.
Skyrim.
Yes. Okay. This one is it's the plumber game, but it's
Mario?
He's made out of but he's made out of like something
Paper
else.
Mario.
Yes. God, I gotta keep skipping. Okay. This is okay. The games where you like kill people, and it takes place in Greece or
Assassin's Creed.
yeah. Yes. Oh,
Odyssey, Origin,
I'm
Valhalla.
gonna count it because I think you counted Ultimate, so I'm gonna say 7. Way to go!
all right.
We were sitting here for so long that for a second I'm all, was I supposed to be timing?
Oh man.
I
Good
was
shit.
so
Good shit.
concerned. That was
I laughed
good.
so I was like freaking out. I was like, "You just said Resident Evil and I can't say it."
I was like, what are
I
you
almost jumped
saying
in
to
and it
me?
was like Resident Evil blank. I almost want to say if you get the series right, you got it.
I know. We probably should do that maybe.
Because we're always like Resident Evil, not the first one, not the third one.
Yeah, it's true.
Resident
It's almost
Evil.
like a given. Like as long as you get the name.
I was
which actually
worried it
might
was gonna
be-
have
It
like.
might be
Sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say it might be actually cooler if we actually go through them that much faster and then see how actually many we get.
Yeah, I really like. Like Doki Doki Literature Club. I would have been like, game you played. She hung herself.
Spoiler alert, she hung herself. Doki Doki Literature Club. Oh my god. Good
Uh,
times. Good times.
All right. Dope. So that was Video Game Taboo, and we're gonna move on to our final segment. Give it an hour. I played BioShock. Nathan played Dreams, and both of those videos are up on our YouTube channel, which you could watch at any time. And then Andrew played Hades from last week, and then he played either Dreams or BioShock. So, Andrew, why don't you start with your thoughts on Hades?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Hades is dope AF. I
Nice.
loved it. I got right into it. So many ideas and thoughts. First of all, so I played it through once and I got like pretty far. That's my second run through ever on the game. I made it to Meg and I texted Jeff and I was like, I made it to Meg on my second try, and he was like, fuck you.
I was like, maybe I suck. Maybe Clay's right. I'm trash.
But then I played and then my fourth run was when I beat Meg, and then I like died really quickly in the next world. And I haven't played it since then. But it's a lot of fun. I was a little bit confused why you guys called it a roguelike. Is that what's considered a roguelike game? Because I would not consider it a roguelike game.
Hades?
Yeah. To me, that
Yeah,
is
it
like
is.
in my brain, I consider that like a classic dungeon crawler, like
Okay.
smash. Like the way I played it was not roguelike at all. I was just like going through like blowing shit up, and like I played it like I played Diablo, like the exact same play style was how I approached
Right.
that game.
I think what makes it so is starting from the beginning every time you die.
Yeah, I
Like,
think that's what it is.
Gotcha.
but instead of like being a new person, you're the same person, but you lost all your buffs.
Gotcha.
Yeah, here's the actual definition. It's a subgenre of role-playing video games characterized by a dungeon crawl through procedurally generated levels, turn-based gameplay, tile-based graphics, and permanent death of the player character.
Gotcha. Okay, so yeah, I guess it is roguelike then. That makes sense. But yeah, I loved it because like I love Diablo, so for me this was just
Right.
like it was like almost like an advanced version of Diablo. I think the
Totally.
combat's really catchy. I think that like you said, the voice acting is cool, and also just how it goes, like the story, like the exact same thing where it's like you get a still of a character, but then like a voiceover over it is like that's like the trademark of Diablo, right? Which is I think
Right.
why it kept coming to mind for me. But I loved it. Definitely gonna keep playing it. Super entertaining.
Sweet.
Yeah, I mean it's just a great effing game.
Cool. It is a good game. It's a great game.
Yeah, I am having so much fun with it. I can't stop. Like, and I'm seeing people like I read like I think giveitanour.com said it takes like 20 hours to beat, but like people on reviews are like, I've been playing for 100 hours and I'm still having a great time. And I'm like, what do you do for 100 hours? Because like Clay said, you could just keep like they give you incentive to keep going.
Well, that's the thing, right? It's like it changes every time. Like it's always the same, but it's always different.
Yeah.
Right.
And like, I don't want to spoil anything. Never mind.
So what was the other game you played?
Oh, and then I also played Dreams.
Nice.
Yeah.
If I were to use 2 words to describe that game, it would be overstimulating and overwhelming.
Yeah.
I was entertained doing it, but I did not play it for a long time. I just like could. It's one of those games where it's like I could either play it for like 16 hours and not get bored, but I had to like make that decision, and I was like, I don't want to do that today, so I just like could not get into it. I played through like 5 different of the 5 different like games that people had made, and like they were all fun. It's the kind of game that similar thing we talked about last week, where it's like if I were going to Jeff's house, like I would love to turn that game on and just like explore a bunch of like weird, quirky little indie things people made with Jeff. Like it'd be a great time.
Yeah.
But Andrew alone in his room, like I'm not gonna play it again.
Fair.
Probably.
Did you find all of the games through the UI, or did you use the website?
The first 3 ones I played were like this recommended, like these are ones that are really popular that people love, and so I tried all those out, and then I kind of like scrolled through and I was like, I did a couple where I was like, oh, that sounds interesting, let me try that and see what that's like. And like I said, like to me it's amazing that people made these things, like that's freaking incredible,
Right.
but like I just can't see myself investing a whole lot of time into it unless like I was truly bored and had nothing else to play.
Right.
Fair.
Yeah.
Cool.
Dreams. It's good though. You should try it if you haven't.
Dreams, nice.
Yeah. Nathan, tell us your thoughts on Dreams.
Okay, well, game is gorgeous in general. It was a really nice way of introducing like the controls in the very beginning. It was really cute. I liked actually the narrator's voice. It's really relaxing and soothing, and it was really well done. But yeah, I just really enjoyed actually the motion control aspect of it, which totally makes sense because if you're going to be painting or like drawing or doing any kind of movement, I imagine the motion control is going to make the most sense for that kind of gameplay. So I totally appreciated that. The main menu was a little cluttered at first, but but it was nice to have all the categories. Like if you really wanted to narrow down like what you wanted to play or what you're in the mood to play, you could kind of find it that way. But it was nice to see how they actually like were praising like the top creators, and they showed all the people who'd won awards or were nominated. So it's definitely like a very community driven game, which is really cool. It's like there's not a lot of games out there like that, and this game is very special because there's nothing. I don't think I've seen another game like this game where it's so community driven, and it's literally the games are based on the community. Like if there wasn't a community, there'd be no games to play.
Yeah. Like
I just find that super interesting. But I did play a variety of games. I played this one game called Slicer. It's a side-scrolling action platformer. Very, kind of hard at first, but I ended up getting a little kick out of it. I played an isometric survival game, which was like all in black and white, and there was like very minimal sound, which was interesting. It was really funny because I went from that one game, which was like very serious, and you're trying to avoid like these big ghosts, and you like shine the flashlight on them to scare them away. You have to like be super quiet. Then I went to this one game where it was actually more of an experience called Just Hug Me, and you're on top of like this mountain, and you're like a block, and you're trying to hug all these big triangles, and all the triangles are like trying to get away, and they all commit suicide, and that's the end of the game.
That's amazing.
That sounds like my personal.
I laughed so hard because it was just like, what the fuck did I just experience? But the game's called Just Hug Me if you want to play it. It's so stupid because it's all it is. You just chase these triangles around on this island, and they all just kill themselves. It's so funny.
I'm gonna play that as soon as we're done.
Right. And then I played like a Sonic remake, which was almost jarring. Like I didn't like the controls at all. Like it looked great and the concept was awesome, but man, it was just so hard to like control and play. I couldn't play it for long. There was an amazing PT copy. Like holy hell, it was really well done. It was in like the category
the original thing.
Yeah, it was in the category for games that will be great forever or whatever. And it was like a PT remake, and it was so good. I did get stuck though because there was like one section where I tried to go through the second door, And I was like, well, maybe I have to go to the bathroom. Maybe there's a sequence in the bathroom. And you see like this hand clipping through the door and it's doing like this. It's like shaking through the door. I'm like, well, that's probably not supposed to happen. And then I was just stuck and nothing happened. I was like, something must have glitched. But it looked really good though. Like they nailed the look of it and the audio and everything. Then I played a left-hand cooking sim, which was fucking hilarious because you're like on the phone with your right hand and you're trying to like put potatoes and like shit and like to a pot and like put a steak on a frying pan and everything's burning and you're trying to like you're putting your hands in like the fire and like trying to put everything on a plate and you're timed, so you have to cook it as fast as you possibly can and then get as much as you can that's cooked onto the plate because the goal is to get like a high calorie count. It was so stupid, but it was very fun. Then I also played like it's considered a gallery where somebody just like designed some realistic looking food and it was like junk food. It was like hot dog and french fries and Coke. It all looked so delicious and it looked so realistic and you could just like zoom in on it and look at it. That's all it was.
Yeah, like an art piece. Yeah.
It was it's an art piece. It was a gallery. It was really cool. And then I took a quick stab at the creator thing. The tutorial kept starting me over, which was really frustrating because I would like mess up once and they'd be like, nope, you got to start over. I was like, no. But it was still really interesting and it was really cool how they, like you have like this almost blank canvas to work with, which was really cool. Now here's the thing. Kind of like what Andrew said, this would be really fun to do like if you go to a party and you're like, hey, let's just play a random game and like somebody picks a game for you and just play it. And you play like make it turn like to a drinking game or something where you basically just screw around, you get drunk and you play random games on Dreams, which could be really fun.
Yeah.
With the time that I have, there's no way I'm going to play this game anymore. Just because my time's precious, I don't have much time, and I have to be very specific with my choices. With that being
You make it
said,
sound like you're dying.
I know, right? I only have so much more time left to live. I have 6 months. No, but with that said, if I were to get involved in the Dreams community, I would fucking love to get involved with doing sound for someone's game.
Yeah.
Like just the sound design, because I think that's one of the coolest aspects of this game is you look at some of these games and they actually show how many creators were part of the game, and some did animations, some did voiceovers, some did music, some did sound design. Just so cool, like such a cool concept to be able to have a group of people tackle all different aspects of one game, just like you would a regular developer team.
Yeah.
So I feel like if I were to ever go back to this and I had like spare time, I'd probably want to just like make music and make sounds and do sound design for people's games, and I think that'd be really
super
fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
But yes, unfortunately, because of the nature of the game, I'm not going to be adding this to my backlog. But
that is fair.
I did enjoy myself. I did enjoy it, and I think
I am going to be honest. I did not think this is going to be one that you continued playing, but I thought it would be one that you should experience.
Yes,
and like
I appreciate
if
it.
they put something like this on the PC, I think what you see would be amplified by 10. Like you could see some incredible stuff with what people can do on computers.
Yes.
What hooked me in is my cousin got the demo and he was like 9, but he showed me this level where you're a giant dinosaur and your goal is to destroy as much of the city as you can before the government destroys you. And
Nice.
it was so like, and you could get like powers, like I think I had fire breath and I could hit stuff with my tail and I could climb buildings. It's like the stuff that people make in there is insane. And I think people legitimately get like jobs because of stuff.
I believe that.
I could see that. I could see that. Because it's all it's all hand drawn stuff and all hand designed.
Yeah. So I hope it continues to grow. But I think it'd be fun occasionally. Like if I found something, I'm like, Nathan, it's like this wealth of games that like, if you have Dreams, I could be like, try this game and it won't cost you anything. You just jump in and give it a shot.
Yeah,
totally.
But you'd have to keep it on your console, which sucks.
Right. Yeah.
Space is precious.
It's true.
Awesome. So I played BioShock, which is uploaded to the YouTube, channel as well. This is a game that I don't have much bad to say about. All of the characters obviously look the same. You would get the same nurses. I thought so that was a bit frustrating, but I thought the level design was tremendous. I thought the atmosphere was amazing. The audio playing on your headphones, you could hear like almost directional hearing where everyone was. And it was creepy, but it was like, it pulled you into it. I thought the powers were cool. The weapons were great. It felt, and it was a kind of experience I like from a narrative where it just guides you to the next part of the story.
Right.
First person shooters aren't for me, and this kind of cemented that for me. Like, I put it on medium, and like I've never wanted to like a game as much as I did BioShock. I was so interested in where the story was going. I just could not get into the gameplay.
Gotcha.
I don't talk about it a lot, but I don't have steady hands. So when it comes to first person shooting and being precise with aiming and looking, I am trash. So if it doesn't have that auto aim feature, I have a horrible shot of doing it well in a game like that. And I was just constantly dying from like stupid stuff. I would round a corner and I'd get like waddled by the old lady, and that would be it. Like, and it takes you back to those chambers. And because you don't have to interact with it to respawn from that chamber, I didn't look for them, so I had no idea where I was going to end up when I died, because I didn't think about having to see where the last one I was was. Yeah, it's just one of those things where I really, really want to experience the full game, but I can't get myself into the gameplay to do it. So I have to not put this one on my backlog, but
All right.
I do want to watch a gameplay and watch someone else do it.
I was gonna say you could do that.
Like I might do a story YouTube watch on it, but like I got all of these games, and I even think back in the day I had them for the PlayStation 3 and I never played them. Just because I thought I would always get to it, but I have to admit to myself this game's not for me. If it had accessibility options where you can auto aim, and it might, I didn't fully go into the settings. I might go through the entire game. But yeah, it was a bit crazy for me.
Yeah. No,
And
that's
I
true.
also
mean,
don't,
fair enough.
I don't like turning around like all the way, like in first person when you're trying to like
same.
look for stuff. First person just drives me insane. It didn't make me nauseous, which is great. I thought it was going to make me nauseous with how much I was going to move around. But yeah, this is like the saddest one I had to take off
That's
on my
sad.
backlog.
Maybe we should go halvesies on Deathloop then, because
I had that thought today. I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna like Deathloop.
I know, right?
Because I feel like it almost plays the same.
Yeah,
I did enjoy
say.
when you had the telekinetic power. Once I got
Yes.
there, that was right before I quit. I'm like, that's awesome.
No,
But
yeah.
then I
See,
realized
that's
you couldn't pick them up, and that was less awesome.
I know. Yeah, BioShock, like, it's really funny. When I finished BioShock, I was so done with BioShock. Like honestly, I loved that game, but my God, by the time I was done with that game, I was like, I don't want to play BioShock forever. It's just because it's so draining of a game. Like, it really is like it takes a lot out of you. And I feel like if you give it enough time, like in between BioShock games, they're fun. But man, you really have to take a break from the BioShock, because it is high energy and it's intense. But I agree with you on everything in terms of like how cool of a game it is, and like the art style is gorgeous and it just looks really cool. The world building is so neat. But yeah, that's unfortunate.
I love the caricature look of all of the people you come across with. I do, like I said earlier, wish there was more variety in the enemies, and maybe there's different ones in different sections. But like, I just kept feeling like I was killing the same people over and over, and I'm like, are they coming back, or is this a new one?
That's improved upon in the sequels.
Okay. Did you like the story? Was the story did it grab you enough to keep you going through?
Yeah, no, it totally did. Like, I think that's why I actually finished the game. I think that's why I beat it, because normally I'm not a big first person guy either, but when a story hooks me like that, I see it to the end. So yeah, I definitely liked the story, and so I beat it. But then again, after slogging through like killing so many people, it was just like, oh my God, I need something different. I need something a little more, chill. So
yeah, it felt more like a maze than I guess it did like it did guide you to the next thing, but it was just a complicated maze.
I could see that.
Which is a different kind of puzzle.
That's hilarious.
So I forgot to check in with you. We are picking new games for each other this week.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot. We were doing that.
I know.
But that's fine.
I meant to ask because I wanted to match it with the theme, but
I totally forgot. We don't know what
But
we're doing next week, do we?
no, not really. So are we gonna pick games for each other?
Yeah, we can do that. I actually have to go to your list because on GG because I didn't even like pick a game. I totally forgot. Like it just
Okay, well, I'm just gonna pick a game that I just beat. I'm gonna have you try Ape Out, and I'm gonna have you try it on your X and using the free trial on your Xbox Game Pass.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. So download that for your computer. Give it a shot. Like to beat it is like even for me was only about 2.5 hours to beat the game.
Oh wow. Ape Escape? Is that what it's called?
No, Ape Out.
Oh, Ape Out. Ape Out. Okay, gotcha.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's see, go to your lists here. Who's your PS games I own? It's here. But did I make a list for you? I think I made a list for you actually.
You might have.
That's okay. I'll go to this list here. Okay.
Some of them might be PlayStation 3, which is fine. I'll just get it out of storage. That's what I wanted to get out of storage.
I feel like you've played these games though. I'm looking at your list now. Maybe. Oh, you know what? I actually have a list for you. That's right. I made a list of all the games that I said I was gonna have. It's called Gaia for Jeff. I think that's what I called it. Sorry, I didn't mean to do this. Totally forgot.
I know,
I'm
it's
so
just something you don't
stupid.
think about it until it's too late.
I know,
Jeff
it's
should
like the
play
last minute.
Bioshock 2? Infinite? Oh, she's recommended game.
Bioshock 2. Okay, let's do. I'm gonna have you try. I'm gonna have you try Red Dead Revolver.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have you try that one. That's the kind of where it all started with the Red Dead series.
It is. I wonder if that one's on PC too.
Well,
If I
this
could
one says you
avoid-
own it.
And it's on my PlayStation 3. Oh, no, I might have it on PlayStation 4 too. So
Yeah, I thought I think it says PS games I own. So.
PS games I own includes PlayStation 3 digitally, which is fine.
Oh. Okay, cool.
That's
yeah,
fine.
so
I'll make it
there you
work.
go. Red Dead Revolver.
Dope.
Okay, so I'm playing Ape Out. All right, cool. I'll make a note. And before we actually end the show, every week when we do these Give It an Hour games, we actually ask our listeners and our followers to join in on the fun where they play with us for the hour, and they also send our reviews.
Oh,
So,
I forgot about that. My bad.
That's okay.
You like texted me too, and I'm like, no.
No, it's all good. So we actually got a couple of reviews this week. We got one on our Instagram. We had one from Gamer Dad Bucky. I think he did BioShock. Oh no, he actually did Dreams. But here's what he said. He said, "I'm not a huge fan of horror creepy games, but I'd heard so much about BioShock's story that I wanted to give it a shot. I am so glad I was able to tough it out because it was amazing. Haven't moved on to the second one yet, but it's definitely on my backlog. As far as Dreams, I bought it months ago on an incredible sale and have yet to even install it. Maybe today will be the day." So thank you again, Gamer Dad Bucky, who also has a podcast. You can go check him out. And then we have the Hunter Bishop, who sent us a comment on Instagram, who also has his own podcast. He said, "BioShock is an incredible experience from its amazing opening to its spectacular ending. It features one of the greatest settings in video game history. The atmosphere of Rapture is impeccable, and it's engaging to explore and learn the lore of. The combat is great, and the plasmids give you a pretty open-ended way to play through the game. And of course, it features one of gaming's greatest enemies, the Big Daddy. The Big Daddy is equal parts terrifying and cool. When you see one, you know you're in for a tough fight, if you want to engage, but it's incredibly rewarding when you take them down. I could go on about how great this game is, longer than I could go on a rant about tall grass stealth games, but I'm going to end it here." So thank you, Hunter Bishop, for that. We appreciate it again. But yeah, so join our Discord, check our Instagram, check our Twitter. That's where you can see all of our posts regarding the Given Hour games, and that's where you can leave your reviews and you can get involved in the Backlog and Beyond community.
Dope.
There you go.
Great. So that is everything that we had for you today. We've learned our lesson in announcing what the episodes are going to be in the following week, so we don't even plan them that far ahead. So
That's true.
in the meantime, you could check out our content on YouTube. Nathan and I just posted episode 4 of our playthrough of A Way Out, which has been a lot of fun. So check that out on our YouTube channel. You could also see every Saturday morning we upload our Give It an Hour playthrough. And In terms of social media, you could find me everywhere Zabadabadoo, except when I'm streaming, I'm going to be playing under Adventure Hawkins, which is Nathan's Twitch channel. You could see me playing Hades later tonight. Andrew, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitch at Pundello. It's supposed to be here, but it's behind me. But it's PUNDELLO. And from there, you can find all my other social media stuff if you want to follow. But come say hi. I just hit my mic.
I just realized that's why Nathan spelled your last name wrong on his tweet. He spelled it MUNDELLO. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's embarrassing.
It's okay.
Nathan, where can they find you?
You can find me at Adventure Hawkins on everything, but if you go onto Twitter, it's Adventure without the E.
Yep, great. You could also find mine and Nathan's accounts on GG under the same account names. You should check that app out because we're both loving it so far.
It's great.
And then, of course, you could find Backlog and Beyond, Twitter, Backlog Beyond, Instagram, Backlog and Beyond, and then, or check out our link tree with all of our links. Check out all of the content we're putting out. Emily and I are working on something together that we're going to put up eventually. There will be more stuff every week. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Nathan, do you have a joke? No,
I entered my son's room and said, "Remember, boy, masturbating can make you go blind." "I'm over here, Dad."
Like, the worst part is I knew what the punchline.
Explains why my eyesight is so bad lately.
That's right.
You could pick out which people went into quarantine single. That's okay, because before all this was happening, every week, Andrew would go out with 3, 4 girls, or 5, 6, 7, 8.